Well, Facebook Marketplace is being used by unlicensed car dealers, and you can avoid problems by paying close attention to the vehicle's title. Well, Scott Romine with Gwatney Automotive is here with us to explain what to look for. This is a great topic, Scott, because the car titles always confused me. Never quite understood why we even have them, but you're here to explain all about them.
Yeah, we'll talk about it a little bit. It is confusing because, I mean, there's no one really to educate you on that, and it's really one of the most important parts of a car, and we've never covered it on a Mechanic Monday or anything like that. So
let's dive into it. All cars have a title, obviously, but how do new cars get a title?
Okay, so if you come see us at Gwatney and buy a new vehicle, new truck, new car, whatever, the original thing you're going to get to take and go and get a title is called the Certificate of Origin. Here's an example of one. Now, here's how you think about this. This is the car's birth certificate.
Oh.
And you know how a birth certificate has a little baby's feet print? I think we should have little tire treads.
That's so funny.
But they don't listen to me.
They don't.
So this is the original thing that any new trailer or boat or truck or car will have a certificate of origin. And after you've registered this, the very first title will be issued in your name.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's what the very first item you're going to get is.
Well, if someone is then buying a car from an individual, what should they be looking for?
Yeah, so, you know, we come up against this a lot. There are a lot of unlicensed car dealers out there on Facebook Marketplace, and they're selling the family car 5 times a week. And the way you can avoid getting into these problems when you don't go through a dealer, these guys don't follow any rules. There is no consumer protection in place for you in the event something happens. You're buying one of these cars, and some of the red flags you can look for are on the front of the title. So we're looking at an Arkansas title right here. And there is a place for a signature that is not as important as the signature on the back of the title, but the name and the address should be the name and the address of the person selling you this car. In theory, you should be standing in the yard of that address when you're buying this car. Now, on the back of the title, there's a place for the seller to sign and print their name. This is a red flag if this is already signed when you're going to buy the car, because the way these unlicensed car dealers operate is they've bought the car somewhere else. They've never paid the sales tax. They've never went and registered that car in their name. They just asked the person that sold them the car to not fill out the back of the title. So this is called an open title. This is technically illegal, and this is really a red flag you should look for.
Oh, does a title need to be notarized?
Not in Arkansas. That's a good question. That's not a requirement here. There are surrounding states that do require that, like Texas. But in theory, if you bought a car in Texas and you got a Texas title, you would not have to have that notarized in Texas in order to bring it back here. We wouldn't require it.
What is the main title that people should avoid?
Okay, so red flags. Red is the color. The one to keep in mind is if the title is red, this is an Arkansas rebuilt title. That means this car has been in a bad wreck or a flood at some point in time. It was issued a salvage title. It went through an auction or something. Someone bought the car. They fill out an affidavit of all the parts they replaced to make it roadworthy again, and Arkansas issued an Arkansas rebuilt title. So a red title is a red flag.
Okay, that's easy to remember. Do all previously wrecked cars have a salvage title?
No. I mean, you get in a car accident, you bring your car to see us at Gwatney Collision. We have 3 locations here in Central Arkansas. We'll fix it. That might show up on a Carfax or something down the road, but it's not going to generate one of these red titles in your name. So
then if someone has damaged their car, they intend to repair it, how could they avoid the damage depreciation when they then trade it in?
You can actually avoid that by using Gwatney Collision. We stand behind our work for the lifetime of that vehicle. So if the car's been involved in an accident, you get ready to trade down the road, you're going to trade up to a new car, we're going to look at it as if it has never been wrecked. We'll completely ignore that. We'll give you book value on trade-in, probably give you above book value on trade-in. And the fact that there's ever been an accident is not a concern with us.
I've learned so much today. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Before we go, though, you actually have a really big announcement.
Yes.
What's going on?
I've hosted a radio show here in Central Arkansas for the last 4 or 5 years called Gwatney Unplugged. It is moving to The Buzz. It premieres for the first time on The Buzz at 9 a.m. tomorrow, 103.7. And you're coming out to cut a windshield out with us on Monday.
Yes, on Monday, you'll see me replace a windshield, and it's...
Somebody's got to do it.
Gotta put in that hard work. Well, Scott, as always, thank you so much for joining me today. Red title means red flag.
Means red flag, that's right. And thanks for letting me in front of the camera for once.
Yeah, I know. It's usually so good behind the camera, but you're good in front of the camera, too. You can come back.
That's all fun.
All right. Well, after